New Year's resolutions. Oh, you mean the tradition where you lie to yourself for a week before going back to biscuits and disappointment?
Yeah, but we here have gym memberships for years. We just never go. So
Evidently.
that's, yeah.
Evidently.
So welcome to Two Sides of the Pond, where two people, one in the UK and one in the US, sit here and talk out of our ass the whole time.
I ain't sitting. I'm standing. You lazy
So,
bastard.
Yep. So, welcome. Hey, Matthew.
Hello. How are you
Happy
doing?
New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Hey, Jinx.
This is great.
It is 2025. Almost
Oh my
2026.
God.
Just skipping a whole year, you know. But yeah, 2025.
2024 flew by for me.
24 flew by for you.
Yes. 2023 seemed to last a lot longer for some reason. It's like the sweet sound of time passing by. 2024, gone. Just, I blinked and it's over. So
Every year for me is increasingly going faster. And there is
older.
there is some science behind that. So I read into this. I can't remember if I purposely looked for it or whether it just popped up randomly because I see a lot of shit randomly. But what I read is the reason why the days and the years feel like they're going faster is because you're experiencing less new things every single year. You think when you're a kid, a lot of stuff is new. You're doing things for the first time. So it sticks in your mind, you know, it feels like you're doing a lot more. But when you get into the routine of going to a job every single day or going doing a food shop or taking a shit, you know what I mean? It's all stuff that you've done before. So it doesn't really imprint into your memory. So when you sort of look back over the year, you think, well, what the fuck have I done? Nothing. Cool. Okay. Another year gone by. And that's why. So we all sort of feel like naturally, I'm just going to keep talking every time you try and talk because it's funny to see you go and then stop.
No.
Anyway, so as I was saying,
I can. You ass.
Hey, look, it's a fresh new year. It's a fresh new year. I'm going in heavy. I don't give a shit. I'm refreshing.
I'm done.
I've lost another ball.
First ball drop.
Got it.
Oh my God.
Still wait for the second one to drop.
I'll
be a real man. Sorry, no, go on. I will shut up now.
No, you won't. That's okay. I totally agree with you. That totally makes sense to me because this past year that flew by for me, I've done a lot of new things. I've discovered new things. I have worked on improving myself over the past year. So it was always something new I was working on. So I guess it does make sense that the year just flew by for me in that respect. However, the year before, I was pretty sedentary and didn't do a whole lot. I just concentrated on going to work, coming home, and that was it. So that does make sense. Now, for New Year's here, our big thing is ironically, the ball drops in Times Square, and that is the big...
That just hurt my kneecaps. I'm too
good
old
for
for
you.
Shit.
Good. You deserve it. That is why. That's how we know when the ball drops in Times Square. It's beautiful. Thousands upon thousands of people sit there screaming and yelling, and that's when we know what happens in the UK. Is it like Big Ben related or?
It is, yeah. So obviously every country, I think they do their own sort of stuff, you know. I don't know what happens for you in terms of, you know, worldwide coverage, whether you Yanks give a shit about what happens elsewhere. But in the UK, we notice on the news that Australia obviously is the first. Well, New Zealand technically,
Yes.
but fuck that. But Australia usually is the first that we see bringing in the New Year's, and it shows all their fireworks and all that sort of bollocks. And obviously it then transitions and, you know, goes over the whole world. You then have Dubai.
Yes.
We quite often see news about Dubai with the Burj Khalifa all lit up like a Christmas tree, with fireworks going off and drones, which is really, really cool. But for us, it is the ding dong of Big Ben, the chime of Big Ben, and then we have fireworks and drone stuff around the London Eye.
Okay.
So yeah, a nice big massive Ferris wheel.
Here in the US on our news, it'll keep cutting over every hour to other countries. And
Okay, so you do see
yeah,
it
so
too.
yes, we do see it.
I lost my ball again.
Your New Year's resolution really should be to hold on to your balls.
Yeah, hold my balls. Yeah, I got to pick a lot up. There's still how many on the floor? There's 3 over there. There's 1 there. There's 1 in my hand. I'm missing a ball. Where on earth is my 6th ball? Is it on the desk? It's not. Where's my ball? How? That's disappointing. That is. I've lost the ball.
That is so sad for everybody involved.
It really is. That's going to bug me now until I find my ball.
Look
What a
back, you might
terrible
have
start to
just
the year.
chucked it across the room.
It wouldn't surprise me. I do speak to you a lot, and that does boil my piss. So I probably did launch it somewhere.
Oh my god. So do you have any resolutions for the new year?
I don't usually do resolutions because like what do most people do? It's like, oh, drink less, sleep more, go to the gym, and that fails within the first week of January, because January is always such a shit month. I find it's normally the slowest month, and this is going back on the point of the years going faster. I always used to feel that January was the slowest month of the whole year, and based on how fast January went, that was then a gauge for how fast the rest of the year is going to go.
So it kind of set your pace.
Yeah, and usually January would sort of be quite sluggish and shit, but then you hit February, and then before you know it, it's fucking Old Lang Syne again, New Year's. But now I find January goes quite fast as well.
So do you have New Year traditions? So really? I could tell you in growing up, I've heard from different families in the U.S., they'll eat certain foods for good luck. They'll eat pork for a prosperous new year. Some people eat black-eyed peas Yes, yeah. Are they still around? Oh my god, I haven't heard from them in years, to be honest.
Guess so. Yeah, I guess so. No idea.
But
they occasionally bring out the shit track,
Well, they usually dust people off on New Year's Eve, and you'll watch them on TV on a different stage in Times Square, on top of the building in Times Square, on another New York building, somewhere in LA. Like, it's crazy. Here for years, we had Dick Clark as our baby New Year, so to speak, until he passed away. And now it's Ryan Seacrest, who has kind of unofficially taken his spot. Do you guys have like the face? Well, do you have anybody who is like the face of New Year's in the UK?
I don't think so. No, it varies because we usually have artists doing stuff. So we had fucking Rick rolled. I know it was last year or the year before. Rick Astley. He was doing loads of music, but obviously the only song he has really is the "Never Gonna Give You Up." But he was singing loads of other people's songs for hours on this New Year's party thing in London or whatever. Although, as an aside, I do think Rick Astley should do a tour and just do the one and only song for 2 hours, but do lots of different versions of it. Because it'd just be the Rickroll tour, and I think it will be sell out globally. I think he'd make millions by doing it. Just one song for 2 hours in loads of different ways, over and over again. It would be memes. It would be a total fucking.
Everybody would know the words.
It would. I think everyone would go and see that because that would be hilarious. Just the Rickroll tour.
That would be interesting. I never understood what the hell the Rickroll thing was. I'm just too old for that. No. No,
you're not supposed to be rickrolled. I'm going to rickroll you. I will rickroll you.
That sounds dirty.
It does. But yeah, it's good. It's good fun.
So,
that used to be a thing during my younger years, to be fair. Yeah.
Yeah. So the number one New Year's resolution for 2024 was saving more money in the US. But in the UK, it was exercise. Which is interesting because they always flip-flop. I know that.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting thing when it comes to the overweight situation, obviously America has more by number because your population is just that much higher. But the UK, I don't know if this is still the case. I'm assuming it probably is because we haven't done anything about it. But we have more overweight people by percentage of our population. So,
in 2025,
when when you think overweight and whatnot, you instantly think, oh, America has a weight problem because of the size of your portions, the amount of fast food, the difference
Amount
in
of
the
sugar in
quality
our
of food.
food. Yes.
Exactly, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, but the UK, when it comes to a percentage, we have a bigger issue, which is interesting.
Well, this is the first time in years that for 2025, things have kind of changed a bit when it comes to resolutions and what the most popular are. So for the US, it's paying off debt. And in the UK, it's to maximize tax efficient savings. So we've gone completely somewhere else.
So,
We've gone
is
towards
there
the
a debt
financial
problem?
part. Well, okay, so not to get too deep into politics, my understanding was Joe Biden was supposed to get rid of the youth's debt with like uh like school debt, and that was supposed to be a thing. Like he was supposed to get rid of all the students who had had all of why can't I think of the word? Oh my god.
You're channeling your inner Joe Biden.
I really am. Oh my god. No, but
Ice cream.
God. No, he had promised to get rid of debt for college students after they had graduated college. They wouldn't have to worry about paying back their educational debt. And that kind of blew up in his face. It never really worked. It didn't happen. A lot of people were upset about it. So
Shock.
here you are, people are being promised, students are being promised, hey, don't worry about the debt. It's kind of like when you have credit card debt and you're like 18 years old and you have your first credit card, and you're like, I could just declare bankruptcy. I'll spend everything on the card and not worry about it. I think that's what happened over the last year or two, where I owe all this debt. I got to be really frugal. I got to, worry about it. Oh, that debt will be forgiven. So they go, oh, so I don't have to save all this money. We're just going to go ahead and spend it. Well, now we're realizing we still owe that money and then some. So it makes it very interesting that you guys, well, here in the US, we're worried about paying off debt. And in the UK, why do you think it's maximized tax efficient savings? Because I can tell you, we've talked about taxes quite a bit towards the end of 2024. Ironically enough, we've had full on conversations about the company and how there's a difference between the US and the UK when it comes to taxes, and whether it's how it's divvied out to when you're paying for things in the UK where the taxes are already included versus the US. And as a business owner standpoint, what are we doing where how do you not pay the most taxes? It's a very Donald Trump thing, but yeah.
Yeah. So there's been a lot of changes, I suppose, recently with you and your fucking cold. What a way to start the year. There's been a lot of changes when it comes to taxes. I think with Labour getting back into power, and they claim that it's to benefit the many, but it's not. They're a lying bunch of twats, as all politicians are. They're all a bunch of lunatics. But yes, there are changes. I don't quite know why that's the top thing to have to maximize tax efficiency, because for me, this is the sort of thing you should do anyway. It shouldn't be a resolution. You should always be trying to maximize your own tax efficiency, because why would anyone want to pay more tax than what they need to? But yeah.
But that's the same thing with health. Health and wealth, they kind of go together in that respect. You should always be worried about your health. You should always be worried about how much debt you have or how much money and income you're bringing in. That's something it's a given, but this is the brand new turn the page, fresh slate. This is what we're going to do. It's January 1st. This is what we need to do now. I mean, it's kind of like going on a diet. You know how many Mondays I've started my diet? I think 52 this past year.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah, I don't generally have resolutions because I do whatever I want to do whenever I want to do it. I suppose the only thing that I might sort of stick by is it's completely escaped my mind. So there we go. There's that. But I think it's always try and have a better year. Whatever you
Right.
do the previous year, try and top it. Doesn't always happen because there are twat heads that get involved in your life that like to cause a shitstorm, which can get in the way of things. But generally, just try and up all the things you do. You know, obviously for me, I travel a lot, so I want to continue
Yeah.
traveling, continue seeing new places. You know, do stuff that I haven't done before, and that for me is then it's a step up from the year prior.
Okay. Well, I mean, for me, it was going to be to experience new experiences this year, but
Experiences. I'm
it
getting that on a
was
t-shirt for you. I'm experiencing new experiences.
as we speak. As you read this shirt, I'm experiencing new experiences. That'd be interesting.
And will
But
do.
I am planning out 2025 as we speak, and of course, health is right there. Hopefully, by 2026, I'll get rid of this cold that I've been nursing for a couple of days now. Couldn't breathe through my nose. I went to the movies last night. Couldn't breathe through my nose the whole time. It was great. But it's okay. I have a gym membership. I've had a gym membership for the past 2 years now, 2.5 years.
And how many times have you used it?
No, that wasn't
Oh, my ball's breaking. Sorry.
all questions must be submitted in writing. I have yet to really, not since the
Yet to
first month
really
I
use
got
it.
my membership
So do you pay for
for the
this?
first month. I do, which will go to financials. Fix my financials this year. Where am I
Yeah,
spending
that'd be
money
good.
that I'm not using it? Well, I spend less than $1 a day for this gym membership.
Okay, so when you look at it like that, it's not
Uh-huh.
terrible.
No.
But if you don't use
And I
it,
know it's there if I need it or want it. I don't
great,
have to. Yeah.
fantastic, it's there. Yeah, yeah. Maybe do something about that.
You you could hold me accountable if
Okay.
you'd like.
Will
I
do.
already have. Yeah, I need to jump on that bandwagon really quick. And now is the time. Well, see, here's the problem. It's January. It's the first week of January. The gym is going to be packed, so I'm going to wait until everybody falls off in a couple of weeks, and then I'll start. This is exactly how this happens. This is the
It
whole.
is, yeah. It's the usual way.
Yeah, this is the
Everyone
whole
does it.
wheel.
I don't know why. I don't know why you have the whole. Because I mean, yeah, like for me, see, I do my bit to sort of keep in shape. You know, as you know, I've done quite a lot over the last 5
You
6
do
months to.
squats.
I do squats. I shit myself a lot. That helps. It drops the pounds. Just drink a bottle of laxative and then you'll be a stone lighter. It's easy.
Yeah.
But I do my thing too. I don't go to a gym. I do a lot of walking and cycling around where I live. I live by a country park, so it's really easy. And why are you
You
frowning? I
cycle?
noticed that frowning. Yeah, I have a
I had
exercise
no
bike.
idea.
Yeah, I've got
I
an
didn't
exercise
know.
bike. Do you not? Oh, well, now
Okay,
you do.
so when
I've
you
got a
say
real bike as
exercise
well.
bike, okay, so you have a stationary bike.
Yeah, I got both. I have a stationary
Okay.
and a proper one, but I don't use the proper one all that much. I use the stationary one because I put on Netflix and watch something whilst I'm cycling.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're
or
a
I
better
walk.
man than I.
I walk around. Yeah, and I also have various things, the strength training and whatnot that I do as well. So I do things generally from home because it's just easier for me rather than going to a gym. I don't like it because gym has people. I don't like people. It's just
Right.
whatever. So I can't be bothered with that.
So,
Plus, it's expensive. I used to go to David Lloyd's. David Lloyd's is a big chain in the UK. It's very, very expensive.
if the
It
gym
costs
member,
like
gym,
it's a gym. It's a
never heard
gym
of it.
group.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of the main ones in the UK. And it was something like, I don't know, 80, 90 pounds a month. And that was for the off-peak membership. So I could only go during the mornings. I couldn't go in the afternoons or evenings, which
That is
sucks. I'm
so
not a morning person.
specific.
Yeah, it's really, really weird. Really, really weird. So I just gave up on that because it meant getting up at like 5 in the morning to go to the gym. By the time I hit midday, I was dead. I'd burnt through
Yeah.
my energy because I'm very much a night owl. So I prefer afternoons and evenings. I prefer doing exercise at the end of my day because I then deplete whatever energy I have left, and then I pass out and I have a really good night's sleep. That just works for me. You know, that's just the way my body works, and I'm aware of that. You know, I don't do morning shit, and I just can't. And unless I have a reason to get out of bed, I can't get out. You know, if I have a flight, I can get up at 3 in the morning, go to the airport, and fly, and it's great fun. You know, if I have a meeting at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m., I can get up and attend the meeting. But if I've got
Right.
nothing going on, then I'll sleep until midday because
Okay.
you know I'd rather just catch up on sleep. So there you go.
Now, all right. So there's physical health and there's mental health. Now, what you've tried to do that correct me if I'm wrong, what you tried to do is you go for your evening walks for your, to clear your head, change of
It's for both.
scenery, get the
It's
body
both physical and
moving.
mental.
It's
Yep.
great. Until I call you during those walks,
Yeah.
and I totally
And that-
screw that up for you.
And that causes greater anguish. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Unrecoverable pain.
I will be texting and you'll tell me, oh yeah, I'm about to go for my hour walk. Oh, okay, I'll call you.
Pretty much, yeah. And
10
fun fact though,
minutes
so
later.
what I find really, really interesting, obviously, is I have an Apple Watch. Here it is, and it tracks my pace. And I know how fast I am when I'm not talking to people, you know, and how fast I go around. I can do,
Right.
you know, a mile, 1 mile in just over 14 minutes. So it's really, really quick. You know, it's almost
It's
fucking
impressive.
running. Yeah. So it used to be like it's in 16 minutes, but it's come down to 14. But when I'm on the phone to you or anybody, that is 1 minute slower. I'm in the 15-minute range. So it's interesting how much energy and effort talking takes whilst you're trying to exercise. Because you wouldn't think it, right? You wouldn't think that just having conversation is going to slow down my pace of walking. It's different parts of the body, right? It's the mouth and it's the legs. Who gives a shit? But you know, obviously, it's having to use a bit of that energy to communicate with the bullshit you're sending my way. So, yeah.
I just drive you nuts, period. It's great.
You do. I'm not going to disagree with that.
Now,
yeah. It's a wonder why I'm here, to be honest. I must really hate myself.
You're going to hate yourself even more.
I know.
As year goes on.
I know. This is it. You know, we started off towards the end of last year on this, and that pushed me to the edge. And here we are, a fresh new year. Let's see if we can make it to the end of this one.
Let's see if we can make it to the end of this episode. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. I know. So it's becoming more and more challenging as the days go by.
Well, I mean, like this cold. What do you do when you're sick? Like, do you have remedies? Do you just wait it out?
So I've done a mixture. This is an interesting one. So I used to get colds a lot as a kid. Like you're talking like several times a month, I would have a cold. I would pick up everything and it sucked. I was always sniffly, always feeling unwell. It was horrible. But the interesting thing with that is I kind of feel that I'm somewhat immune to the common cold. Not fully, but now that when I do get the cold, I can usually shift it within about 24 hours. It's usually one day of feeling a bit rough and then it's gone. And I can only feel like it's because I've had so many, although they're different, my body's like, oh, I've seen something similar to this. I kind of know how to fight you. So here we go. Let's give it a go. So it doesn't feel so bad. I have no idea what the science is behind that, but you know, I don't usually get ill these days, but when I do, it's normally a day or two that I feel a little bit rough and then it's gone. Unless I get the flu, which kicks my ass. But as a kid, what I used to love is Calpol. It is this sugary, strawberry-tasting medicine. I could neck a bottle of that right now and OD and not give a shit. It is so tasty. And sometimes, even as an adult, I would admit, when I can't be bothered with shit medicine, I'll just have some Calpol because it tastes nice.
I watch a bunch of shorts about a nursery, and it's meant to be comedic, but they mention Calpol a lot in that when a child, like, kids in the nursery aren't feeling well and they take Calpol. I didn't realize I would be hearing that word from you. That's a
All
thing.
right,
Okay.
it is real. And I tell you what, when you come to the UK, this is going to sound fucked up, but we will go to the shop, we will buy a bottle of Calpol, and you can try it. Because you'll probably be a
Okay.
bit ill anyway. When you get here, you're probably going to get the British cold, and you'll feel rough because it's cold as fuck in this country. So get a bottle of Calpol, and you can give it a go because it's safe to use. It's fine. It's meant for kids, so it's not that strong for us, but it tastes good, and it might take the edge off. So yeah, we'll do it. We'll have some Calpol because it's fucking great. But what I used to do though when I got older and needed something stronger than Calpol, was we had a thing called Daynurse, which vanished more recently, but Daynurse, it doesn't taste great. It's a liquid medicine. I can't do tablets and stuff. I have to do liquids. Daynurse was strong, but it would work. It would help. I remember I went to Florida with a family several years back, and I got ill on the way out there on the flight. I got progressively unwell as the day went on the plane. Obviously, you're stuck on a plane feeling like absolute shit.
That's
Um,
horrible.
yeah, so I had my brother then went to CVS or whatever. Is it CVS?
We have that, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. To try and find the equivalent to Daynurse in America. I forgot what he got, but it was again a liquid thing that you take, and But it is a bitch to kick whatever I had in America as well. I feel like the climate and the humidity out there was keeping my cold going. Maybe what you're sort of experiencing now, why you can't shift it because of the way the climate is. Who knows? But more recently, I now use Lemsip. It's a little sachet of powder. You boil yourself some hot water in the kettle. You pour
Okay.
Lemsip in it, and it's like this lemon or it's blackberries, I think it is, or something like that, and you just mix it all together, and then you just drink it, and that works quite well. So I have Lemsips in my travel bag with me. So if I'm going through an airport and I'm feeling unwell, I have them in the bag, and I can then just get some hot water from the lounge or whatever, and make myself a Lemsip really easy. So I did this. I was flying to Singapore, and I wasn't feeling great as I was checking into the airport, and I didn't have any Lemsips with me. And so I went to the shop there, W. Smith's, or, the shop we have in every single airport. It's not a true airport if you haven't got a Smith's in it.
Okay.
And I went and I got some Lemsip sachets, and then I felt fine and didn't need them. So that was hilarious. I just spent like £5 for this box of Lemsips, and I didn't actually need them. It was just I just felt a bit weird in the morning for whatever reason. So yeah. But I have also gone through a massive period of time of not taking anything. I just would always power through because I always felt it's making my immune system stronger, not giving it the assistance to get over something. Whereas now I can't be bothered being strong and just take medicine.
See, now I'm worried because over the past month, I went from hot weather in Florida to Tennessee, which was colder, back to Florida, which was back to warm. And then we just got a cold front. And I think it was the up and down that really messed with my sinuses and everything. So I can't imagine what it's going to be like getting on a plane for 12 hours, 13 hours, 18 hours? How long
10.
is the flight? 10?
9-10
Yeah.
hours. Yeah, maybe 8 if you're lucky.
Yeah, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Because eventually, as a part of my bucket list is to do more interesting new things. I will be in the UK in April. So, which is
interesting
exciting.
in UK. I don't know if that really fits, but yeah, we'll roll with it.
What do you mean? Come on.
It's the UK, man. It's usually cold. It's usually rain. It's filled with miserable people.
Maybe I will just feel right at home.
Maybe you will. Maybe you'll love it. Maybe you'll love the UK and go, you know what? I want to live in this country, and then we can just swap places. And I'll do things from the American point of view, and you could do things from the British point of view.
I'm still looking forward to this year taking you to Olive Garden. We are doing that. Okay. I will treat you to dinner at Olive Garden, and we'll see what your reaction is to that. Because I find it amazing that you think that for somebody who can, how long would it take you to go to Italy from where you are? Someone who travels so much.
3 hours?
In 3 hours, you can be in Italy and have real Italian food. And you're like, ooh, Olive Garden. Where here we call it faux Italian.
Yeah, so it's only because I've been told it's really, really good. And I do like Italian food.
Okay. I could see you chucking breadsticks across the restaurant. halfway
Why
through
is
your
it?
meal
Is it not good?
because uh, we'll see. We'll see what your perspective is because you grew up on healthier foods. You grew up on, like, tell me, coming to the US, you haven't sat down, looked at your plate, and go, wow, this is a lot compared to the UK
Oh
from back
yeah, but
home.
I like it.
The food tastes different than
Yes, but it's
what it
tasty.
is.
I find quite a lot of it is tastier because of the shit you put in it.
And that's why I need to jump on that resolution I've had since I was 12 years old to go to the gym and lose weight. Because our food is tasty and has more sugar in it, and which apparently has been compared to the addictive properties of cocaine. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, there's a correlation there. But you're lucky. You have a very active job, whereas I don't. I have a very sit down job, which is why I stand for this because I get to jiggle my ass a little bit and move about, you know. But usually I'm sat down. I'm at a desk. I'm working on a computer. So that's one of the reasons why I do my evening walks to get myself moving.
See,
Whereas I think you'd probably do more steps than I do in a day because you have a very active job.
but that's where therein lies the rub, because I average at work 20,000 steps,
Yeah,
say,
so that's more. That's
which
double
is a
what I do.
lot. That's amazing. That's great. But if I'm on vacation for a week, or I'm not as active throughout a week, my body goes, "Why aren't you moving?" And it holds on to every little thing I eat.
It
It's
will
like
do,
fight or
but
flight.
it's fine. It'll balance back out again. It's
Yeah.
okay to keep your body guessing what's going on. You want it to be guessing and not know what the hell you're doing. Don't fall into a routine. You fall into a routine, it's hard to lose weight. Spice it up constantly. Your body will be like, what the fuck is going on? I don't know whether I should be holding this, burning this, don't know what I'm doing. And your
Yeah.
weight will go, woohoo. So, yeah. That's something they don't teach you on weight loss programs.
You're still looking for your balls.
Yeah, I thought I found it, but it's one I've already counted. So, yeah. It's not the one. It's not the one.
All right. So you've decided no resolutions this
Not
year?
really. Only. My
You,
voice is cracking. Maybe I need to go through puberty this year. Maybe that should be my
maybe
resolution.
this might be your year.
It might be my year. It might finally happen. I mean, one's down. Yeah, it's just waiting for the other one to drop. But but yeah, as I said, I think for me, it's just try and have a better year than the previous one. Just keep topping it and doing more new things I haven't done before, like waving this flag.
Yeah, I want to see you wave the flag a lot more.
What about you then? What's your main resolution going to be? And don't say go to the gym because you fucking won't. So have something that you can actually do.
I think self-love is really making me a priority.
And how would you
Like
do
this,
that?
well, so I am in charge of a lot in my circle here, just like you are. You feel the pressures of running a company, being with people, uh, making sure everybody's doing okay. I have a similar situation here, and in what really started this whole podcast, like really put it in motion, was when just a couple of months ago I decided to go away for a couple of days on my own, which I haven't done in over 8 years, because I was always taking care of somebody or bringing them with me to make sure that they were okay. And so this year, right out the gate for my birthday, I am going away for 2 weeks by myself. Like, so I think that I think setting up a routine is important. Self care is more of a mental thing where you can sit back and say, okay, uh, it's not always about putting the skincare on at night before you go to bed. It's about thinking about spending that time and turning it into a ritual. Drinking tea before going to bed, like herbal tea instead of 2 cups of coffee with a lot of heavy cream.
Or just have some fucking water like a normal human being. Drinking all this fucking preservative shite. Just have a glass of water.
Well,
Read a
there's nothing
book.
wrong with herbal tea. Well, there's that. I mean, spending that time to yourself. Your walks that I've totally ruined this past end of your year, last year.
You've ruined a
Like,
lot.
wow. All right.
It's a year of truths.
That's why I was just thinking, like, yeah, great. Now we know. Now, I think that's really it. It's carving out that time for yourself. And it's something you're going to hear from everybody. Like, I have 2 calendars, like, physical.
Of course
I'm going to write it down.
Of course you fucking have 2 calendars.
I have
what do you
2?
not have 2 of? Apart from brain cells, I suppose. But other than that...
I have 2 calendars that I physically write things down in, plus notebooks that I make lists in, plus an electronic calendar that I use. And majority of it is just for other people. And looking at it, it's like I have to work my day job to take care of other people. It's what I do. I mean, we've talked about this, and because of that, my physical health has kind of declined a little bit the last couple of years, minus the cold. So I really should be focusing on more of personal stuff like that. So I'm going to really try. I have to come up with a plan. And when people come up with a plan, it really is the start at the end goal. And then where do you want to see yourself? And then how do I get to that step? And just keep working your way backward. We've talked about this. Like, that is something that's real. God, I want to say like almost 10 years ago, I was a parent advocate and like almost like a coach for other people, because, if you can't do for yourself, you teach other people how to do it. That's life.
That's usually how it works with teachers. They're failed in their own profession, so they teach people to also fail.
Yes.
Gotta love teachers. You useless sacks of shit. Sorry,
and that's
pretty quite deep.
No.
It's offending quite a lot of people.
Do you have an issue with your teachers? Do you have a specific teacher that you don't want to see?
Yeah, story for another day. But yeah,
okay.
I've had some beef. But I think though, to wrap up, I think our resolutions are somewhat similar. Because I think for me, trying to have a better year, that is focusing on me, my own health and self-love, because I wanted to do stuff that I enjoy. So I think we're actually quite aligned with what we're trying to do. So it'd be interesting to see where we are a year later if we haven't killed each other at that point, if we actually made it.
Ironically enough, we have, yes, I agree that we are aligned with this, and that taking care of ourselves, and we're going to do that together this year, which is such an oxymoron. Oh my God.
Gotta love an oxymoron.
Woo! Speaking of morons, thank you very much for listening.
Yes, if you have got your own resolutions, let us know what they are so we can talk about them. Be very interested to hear what people are actually going to try and do this year. And let us know if you think you're actually going to do it. I don't want to hear all this shit of like, oh, well, I plan on doing this, but I have no actual intention of doing it. That's fake. Like, fuck off. Tell me stuff that you're actually going to do. That's what I want to hear.
Absolutely. Let us know down below, and keep listening and watching, because we have a whole year of stuff planned for you guys.
Holy shit.
Yes,
lots and lots of
2025 is going to be great.
Yes, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. But until then, it's a bye from me.
And
bye-bye,
it's
Dwayne.
Bye-bye. Have a great one, guys.
And it's bye, apparently.